The wait is finally over. It was all the way back in January. It was February, March, April, like 7 or 8 months ago that we first saw all of the new offerings for 2023 that My Arcade was showing at CES. We saw so many cool products, and yet they seemed so far away, and they were so far away. But no more. I have in my hand the first of the new line of the 2023 products from My Arcade. I have this Street Fighter II Pocket Player. We're gonna put it through its paces right after this. This video supported in part by...
Playing VR, I tend to sweat. It gives me an edge. So King of Nerds happens to give me an edge too. Let King of Nerds give you the edge. Bye, King of Nerds.
Hey there, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. You see that smile on my face? That's a new product smile. It has been so long. Not just since we saw this stuff at CES 2023, but since we were getting new product. Remember the heyday of like 2018 and 2019 and every company was putting out stuff all the time and there was just a wealth of stuff, and now it's been just like tumbleweeds blowing through here. But as I said, the wait is finally over. I have this product, and not this one, but many more to show you in the coming days. But we're gonna get started looking at this new Pocket Player. It has 2 games on it, and I don't wanna wait anymore. Let's get to the table and check it out. Boy, it has been a good long while since I've had a Pocket Player on my table, and I don't mind telling you, I'm excited to check this one out for all the reasons. I mean, it's a Pocket Player, I like the build of them. It's Street Fighter II, and it's a couple of Street Fighter IIs. We're gonna get into that. We know this little lid opens. Let's start with a tour of the box. It's pretty much the same as Pocket Players were in previous years. On the back here, it talks about all the features. It's got this 2.75-inch screen, and a list of little details. We know we have licensed titles, they're playable. The screen, adjustable brightness, that's cool, that's new to Pocket Players. Powered by 4 AA batteries. I'm pretty sure they used to be AAAs, I think. Means more horsepower in these things, if I'm remembering right. And or you can power it with USB-C, not micro. We're finally evolving past micro USB. It's also worth taking a look at the ends of the box, not because of this logo on this end, but over here, in case I need a little bit of reminding of why I love Street Fighter II so much. Here's a really nice panoramic view of all of our characters that we enjoy playing as. Yeah, that just makes me want to get this thing open that much more. Back around here on the front, then you may remember they have a little magnetic latch that holds the lid closed, and when you pop that open, you get a view of the device. Now, we'll look at that real quickly. They're advertising what's inside. We know it's Super Street Fighter II, the new challengers, and Street Fighter II Special Champion Edition. That's a mouthful to say over and over and over and over, so I'll call it new challengers and champion. Just to make it easier, I guess. But look at so we could ogle the device for a while. I mean, first of all, the first thing to jump out at me is, looks like the same D-pad. 6 buttons, a little bit smaller, same looking buttons as we had before, and we have a home and a start up here. So let's get this thing open and check it out. I'll tell you what occurs to me now that I have this all open and I see the contents. In addition to not having a Pocket Player on my table in a while, I've been able to throw away instructions in a while. Get out of my face, instructions. And I would throw these away, but this is something new. Let's get to this in a second. A new catalog showing what's coming up. Look, there's so much in 2023. We saw it at CES. So here, right on top, there's the Game Station Pro, which we'll take a look at before too long. And we can see all the other stuff they have coming. The Atari 50. A pack. It looks like a checklist. Tick, tick, did you get them all? So we're gonna have, looks like a Pocket, Micro, and Nano. No Pico. Are we done with Picos? Maybe, it looks like. We have Pac-Man, we have Galaga, we have a Ms. Pac-Man. It's 2-sided, it keeps going. Here's our Street Fighter II that we're looking at now, a Micro and a Nano. Mega Man, a Space Invaders. I didn't even see that at CES. Okay, there's something finally we've seen, the Data East, and then something more coming soon. So it's been a while since I've cared about looking at these, but now with so much good stuff coming out, man. So let's go ahead and do a tour of the hardware. I mean, at a glance, we can see there's the screen, we have that D-pad that we looked at through the box, and the 6 buttons. So on the bottom, we have a headphone jack and that USB-C power in. I don't want to call it a charging port, it's a power port. It's not rechargeable, but you can power the device via USB-C if you don't want to put batteries in or you don't have batteries. Nothing really to write home about on the back other than this redesigned pair of battery doors. Now it's 2 batteries in either side, and now, as it seems to be the new design, you take screws out, plus a latch to get them out, and a little label about using high-quality batteries. Also, I'll mention, and I pointed this out before, these form a nice little handhold to kind of grip your hands around to hold onto the unit. I like that about the Pocket Player. I did from the day I first saw them. And while I'm here, let's talk about the stuff that's on top. On this side, we have a volume up and down rocker, and then go across, we have that backlight button, the adjustable backlight, and then we have the power on-off switch. The D-pad does feel to me almost exactly like the D-pad on the previous Pocket Players in terms of mushiness. I prefer a little bit clickier D-pad, but proof's in the pudding. Does it behave properly? Can I control the character properly? And then over on this side, we have the 6 control buttons, the punch and kick buttons. Now this right away is a clue to what's going on inside of the unit. We have a home button and a start button, not a coin insert button. So I think what we've learned from CES is these aren't original arcade ROMs, but they look pretty good from what we've seen, so I'll withhold judgment till we see. Then we have the XYZ for punches and ABCs for kicks, as you would expect for a Street Fighter game. And then finally, it includes this little lanyard that you can put around your wrist so you don't drop your nice new Street Fighter toy. Okay, let me put some batteries in this, fire it up, and give it a test play. Peeling off protective film is always satisfying, so I figured I should share that little part with you. There you go. Batteries are in, let's power it up. Oh, we're going in the arcade. That's cute. And then there's the Pocket Player in the arcade. That's a nice startup animation. And then you're presented with which of these 2 games you want to play. We have the New Challengers or Champion, which I'm going to abbreviate. Keep up. Let's talk about the screen brightness while we're here. So we have this default brightness. Then we have a brighter mode, and then the darkest. So it's 3 levels. So you have low, medium, and high. For purposes of this video, I'll keep it on high. I think the contrast will be better. So it's not dramatically different, but I assume it's going to draw batteries a little more economically if you have it on the low light setting. Or maybe you're in the dark and the bright setting is too bright for you. Let's pick the New Challengers and just hop in here. Yeah, I can tell from the Capcom music. Yeah. Oh, a little screen tearing. Did you see that? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. So I'm assuming I'm going to push start. All right, so game start. Oh, and you can pick super, challenge, or let's see what the options are. No, oh, well, that's great. So you set the difficulty. This feels like a console game, right? This is not the arcade ROM, but the nice thing is that console games of Street Fighter 2 were pretty good. I played the heck out of it on Super Nintendo, but... So you have configurable... Oh, key config. So XYZ, ABC if you want it different. Super mode, normal, or expert. All right, that's... I mean, all that in here is a game. It feels like a console, like I said, so that would make sense. Yeah, and then how do we get back? Start again, maybe? Yeah, start takes me back. All right, so let's try game start, I guess, and yeah. So I have it full volume. Little speakers right here. I don't know how well you can hear that, but it's not crazy loud. Of course, it has headphones. Naturally, you could use. So let's see. Let's be Ken just for giggles. So the thing's going to be, oh, I can hear a little compression in the audio samples. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to nitpick this a little, but I mean, it's, yeah, a little lacks some clarity. Oh my goodness. Damn it, Fei Long, you're messing with me. Yeah, just taking me a little bit of time to get used to the controls, but I mean, I'm pulling stuff off. Yep, there's a Dragon Punch. Yeah, now for all the little things I'm complaining about that's not exactly like the arcade, I mean, it feels like playing Street Fighter 2. It feels right. You can hear it in the pitch of the sounds. You can hear the compression in the voice. But the fluidity of the animation is what you would want out of playing Street Fighter. Ow! You thought, Fei Long. That was your first mistake. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Who else can I do decently? I could do a little Dhalsim. Let's do a little Dhalsim. Let's see how that goes. Woo-hoo. That was Brazil, in case you couldn't make it out. Usually could pull off a throw right there. I got you, Dhalsim. Take that, Blanka. So I'm pulling off my moves with probably 80% accuracy already. So my complaints about the D-pad being a little mushy, oh, there we go. Not problematic. Ooh. Oh, I jumped right under that. There we go. We come down and spike him. Lovely. And that's the end of Blanka. Now, something you should be aware of, the home button is right up here. There's no warning. If you tap the home button, boom, you're gone. You're gone. There's no verification. You're going to be out of the game. So if you're in the middle of playing something that's hot and fierce, be careful. Be careful. Let's try the Champion Edition. That sounds a little better to me, actually. Maybe, yeah, fewer voices, I can tell, but let's start this game. Yep. Champion. How about Blanka? Blanka's a nice cheap character I can play. Just spam that electricity. Now this one's much louder for some reason. I like that about it. Got her. Haha! Wow! Polished her off. Spam that electricity. The gameplay is what you want the gameplay to be. Now, you know I like to nitpick about arcade accurate. I understand what the limitations are here in this hardware. So, I get it. To stay within the budget, to make these affordable. I still think there's a market for full arcade. Look at the premium edition line we had. We know there's a market. Yeah, take that, Chun Li. There's a market for paying for the arcade ROM, whatever it takes. And it's not the ROM that's the problem, it's the hardware that can run the arcade ROM. Let's try one more character before we get out of this one. Let's do Sagat. I always loved when they added Sagat, and I got tired of him kicking my butt, and so playing as him was pretty gratifying. Ha-ha! And this is a test of can you get off fireballs, right? So... Oh, ouch. About an uppercut. Yeah, I got an uppercut off. Sure. I mean, that's the test, right? Can you get off those moves that would be difficult with a subpar controller? And I'm not having... Any misses? Any misses I'm attributing to just getting used to these controls, but you know, with a little bit of play, I would have no trouble regularly getting off. Aha! Uppercut, take that for a finisher. Yeah, controls are not a problem for me. I like the buttons a lot. Yes, I'd like a little clickier D-pad. I think it'd be nice to be able to have less of a circle and more of a D-pad to feel without looking, but I mean, it's hard to complain when I'm getting off the moves that I want to get off, you know? Classic matchup here. Just walk in and grab him right away. Nope, fail. Goodness! Zangief! You're a unit. There we go. Get less pressure, please. Oh, he got me. Look how close it was. Sometimes you just walk in and grab him, but he's not letting me do that here. Oh, made short work of him that time. I got to do the rubber match against Zangief. It was too close. So this is the mark of this game. Look, it's not a perfect arcade, but I'm having fun and I don't want to quit. I want to know who wins. I mean, it's... Ow, ow, ow! I'm gonna keep batteries in this. This is a lot of fun. For having Street Fighter in your pocket on the go, forget it. Just amazing. Ouch. Got him! Haha, polished it off. All right, Street Fighter 2 Pocket Player. I think we know what you have to offer. Let's wrap this up. So what do you think? Not a bad way to kick off this new round of products. Certainly not in my opinion. Look, we have criticisms to make. This is not a perfect unit. I'll start by saying I had so much fun with this that I recorded for longer than I probably should have. I edited most of that out, but I played 7 or 8 characters. I, worked on getting, my dexterity with these controls together and had a lot of fun. And what I said is true. I'm not going to take the batteries out and just throw this on the shelf. This is, like, I love Street Fighter 2, and to have it just at my fingertips, at my beck and call, anytime I want, is pretty darn cool. Now, as we said, this is not a genuine arcade ROM. This is very much, it feels kind of Sega-esque in many ways. I asked my arcade and they communicated to me that it is a console-style ROM. We heard little compression in the audio samples, all things that you could improve on a future version. And I am adamant in my belief that there is a market for a $50 or $60 range genuine arcade ROM arcade toy. Why do I know that? Why do I believe that? It's because look what Replicate is doing over at New Wave Toys, and look what Numbskull is doing. They can market something at a couple $100, and I understand that to keep this within kind of a like a Walgreens drugstore impulse purchase, you've got to put internals in this to keep the price low enough that you can make a profit on it. I get all of that. So I want to evaluate this on the merits of what it is and what purpose it's trying to fulfill. So Street Fighter 2 is in here. We have the new challengers, we have Champion Edition, I think it's called. Both are there. The controls were fine. I had questionable feelings about the controls, but they worked out to be great, so I have no real complaints about the controls. The screen had a little tearing, I noticed, but only when we're in those full screen kind of animation segments. When I was playing the game, we were just left and right scrolling. It was absolutely fine. Now, what would I change? Well, actually, not all that much. You could have a little less compression in the audio samples, but again, it was perfectly serviceable. And I felt that the Champion Edition sounded a little bit better and crisper than the other. That could have been just my imagination. But even though it's not a genuine arcade ROM, it is a far cry from when we were slapping NES on a chip on these things. This is a huge step up from that. This does its best to present you with an arcade experience. Plus you have the console benefits of difficulty and controller mapping and that sort of thing, which makes it a great package for the price. So looking at this with a critical eye to try to evaluate it with a rating, I'm gonna give you my rating, and my rating, with those improvements that I wish I had, I wanna give this a solid 3.5 tokens out of 5. The play is fun. You get that feeling of playing an arcade version of Street Fighter. The controls are functional, and it does what you need it to do. If, however, you are not an arcade hound like I am and didn't grow up playing this in the arcade, the Street Fighter 2 experience is here, and that probably could elevate this by a half token, maybe a full token. This might be a 4.5 rated toy. It really depends on your preferences and what you're looking for in a Street Fighter 2 handheld unit. Now, a couple things I will tell you. First and foremost, my arcade provided me this Pocket Player free of charge for review. They had zero editorial approval of what I had to say about it. The other thing I will tell you is that if you're looking for one of these for yourself, they will be on sale starting September 1st, 2023. That's just in a couple of days from now, or depending on when you're watching this, it's way in the past, but they will be available right around the corner. It's not like it's weeks and weeks away. Right around the corner, you can pick yours up. Now, I have many more of these units to show you and review to help you make buying decisions. There's so much coming on the market, you need to know which ones are for you. So, over my shoulders here and here, I will throw links to more reviews of these new 2023 My Arcade toys. I certainly hope you found something to enjoy in this video though, and I cannot wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.